Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Welstra deck profile for January 2025. Wanted to update the faded one of Guiding Star since the last two Vanguard booster sets kind of, overlooked this deck. We've been able to update Blankmeyer, Varga, a good number of other faded one decks, but the faded one of Guiding Star kind of got forgotten since the second booster set, and it's gotten a good amount of support since then. So big thanks to my buddy Anthony for letting me borrow his Welstra deck for the video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck consisting of the energy generator. Our starter is Blitz Chief Mechanic. For this card being your starter, the grade 1 is Blitz Best Programmer, Strasser. When wrote upon by Blitz Head Researcher Uber, Soul Blast 1, search your deck for up to one product card with grade equal or less than your opponent's Vanguard. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Just giving you search power for the many different order product cards that we run in the deck, with our grade 2 being Blitz Head Researcher Uber. When this card attacks a Vanguard, Energy Blast 3, choose a product from your order zone and operate it, just making the main mechanic of what the deck is meant to do, and operate your many different orders. And when it's wrote upon with a unit with Welstra and its card name with Divine Skill, if your order zone has a product, Soul Blast 1, and discard a card from your hand. Search your deck for up to two product cards with different card names from each other from cards in your order zone. Reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck, giving you more setup to then use with your main go-to grade 3, which is Faded 1 of Guiding Star, Welstra Blitz Arms. So, along with that copy, we are running additional copies in the deck. But before we go over those cards, I figured we'd just talk about the orders that we are running in the deck as well, being the 2 copies of Extreme Satellite Weaponry, Uranth. When this card is put into the order zone, just giving you the option for the damage inflicting ability to your opponent, giving you an energy charge 3 and draw option as well, and also being able to retire an opponent's rearguard. It really has all that setup power, just with the restriction of not being able to be activated as a product the turn that it was placed into the order zone. The other one is the 2 copies of Mobile Fortress of Obliteration, Freischütz Maximum. Being able to also set this card up and operate it, and then being able to play it as a rearguard with 23,000 power and critical +1, minusing your opponent's Vanguard of power as well. And also the same applied to Uranth with the -10,000 that it can do also. So weakening your opponent's Vanguard and giving you a unit to be able to swing into them with this order. We're also running 4 copies of Assault Flight Carrier, Lubetzel, having more draw power and soul charge power when it's put into the order zone. And when it's operated, being able to search the top 5 cards of your deck and choose a unit from among them and call with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard. Or if it's the battle phase, being able to draw cards, so you don't have the multiple setup of, rear guards being able to attack multiple times also. And then the last of the orders being the 1 copy of Mobile Kennel Eingarten. Just needing the 1 because you can search it off of the ride line and then operate it just as early, since it is a grade 1, giving you a 10k critical 1 unit to also be able to boost to an open rear guard to call out and then return it to the order zone afterwards. For the grade 3s, we're running 3 copies of Faded 1 of Guiding Star, Welstra Blitz Arms. When it attacks a Vanguard, Energy Blast 2, choose a product from your order zone, operate it, and gets +10 to the end of that battle. So this unit getting the +10 and then operating the product that you need for your specific play. And its Divine Skill being on the Vanguard circle, counter +1, choose up to 2 product cards with different card names from your hand. Put them into your order zone. If you put 2 cards, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. So having the initial skill of Welstra and then also the Divine Skill operate gives you 2 different resources to make use of with the deck. So very, very useful for that setup of your many different product cards and then just the initial operating of those cards also. We also run for the grade 2s 4 copies of Operate Master Freyet. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if your order zone has a set order, counter +1, discard a card from your hand, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same name as your Vanguard, or put up to 1 product card, reveal it into your hand, shuffle your deck. If you have a Vanguard with Welstra on its card name, choose up to 1 product card from your hand and put it into the order zone, giving you more setup for those product cards, along with the option to Soul Blast 2 to operate a product as long as you have a Vanguard with Welstra in its card name. Now, there was a new Blitz promo that came out within the last couple months for Vanguard promos. It's a little more difficult to get, but if you wanted to run it, there are options that you can swap out for those cards, depending if you want to adjust your product numbers or some of the grade 2 lineup to add that new promo. But once again, not everyone has access to the promo, so if you don't have it, you can always just play the deck as it's run currently, like my buddy Anthony's. And with that, we're running 4 copies of Blitz Accounting Department Staff, Brigina. When it's placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Welstra and its card name, +1, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. Just more options for operating your product setup in the order zone. And then also on the rear guard, when a product in your order zone is operated, you can Soul Blast 2 and draw a card. So just more setup for those cards, giving you draw power on top of the operating ability of this grade 2. And also 2 copies of Blitz Operator Troll for the added play of being able to, if your order zone has a product, it gets +5. And on rear, when she attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Welstra and its card name, with Divine Skill, +1, choose a product and operate. So most of the majority of these cards can operate additional products. So it's all the more use whether they attack or just when you place a product in your order zone. Varying grade 2 skills to be able to use to do so. The newest one since the last time we updated this deck is the grade 1, the Blitz Publicist Ventilica. When this card is discarded from hand during your ride phase or main phase, if you have a grade 3 or grade Vanguard with Welstra and its card name, you may call it to rear guard. And on rear guard once per turn, if you have a grade 3 or grade Vanguard with Welstra and its card name, you can Energy Blast 4. Choose a product with grade less than or equal to your opponent's Vanguard from your order zone and operate it. And if the cost of that product's original operability is reduced by +1 until end of turn. So making use of your Energy Blast ability to be able to give you a less of a counter charge to use, so then you can focus on the operating skill of the deck while also giving you a rear guard setup after discarding it for the use of your grade 3 grade Vanguard with Welstra and its card name for that setup to call it to rear and then use later on. We're also running the 4 copies of Bauble Mine just for the put into soul counter charge options when you have a set order in your order zone, which is very easy to accomplish with this deck as well. If you didn't have the Bauble Mines, the option for the Blitz promo, once again the newest one that came out, is another potential spot to put here since Bauble Mine is pretty expensive now. And then the last of the grade 1s being the 4 Sentinels, just running them here. If you want to run Elementary Sanctity, you can always drop one of the Sentinels for a copy of that card as well. And then for the trigger lineup, we're going with the 7 critical, just for added pressure of the Vanguard being able to hit along with the power you can give to the products on rear guards. Powering up our rear guards as well with the 4 copies of Cardinal Draco Impero, and then having the additional 5k shield that this card provides as well, with the last being the 4 copies of the heal Blitz Doctor Gesund, and our over trigger being the Eldo Breath, just for the added increase for our power and critical of all of our front row units that get power this turn. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy. Once again, big thanks to my buddy Anthony for letting me borrow his Welstra deck for the video. It definitely was overlooked compared to all the other decks we've had released with the last couple sets. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.